Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Blue Star Pirates. And we are actually, I just finished up turning in the recycle that I had been getting from the community service at all the various parks that I have been to these first 10 days of starting YouTube. Shout out to Dante London. Hey guy, this is day number 10, and I did a bonus sweep this morning of one of my local parks, so that I could have a haul from there, and then I could do the recycle first, and then I could come over here and show you guys exactly how much I made for 10 days worth. Now I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna check the dumpster bins over here afterwards to see if there's recycle, and I'm gonna look around for litter to pick up for beautification reasons. I'm actually in the next town over that I grew up in. I actually did also live here for about a year or so, and I've been to this park. It's another veterans park, and I think it's absolutely lovely. I mean, when you look at these trees did not, grow overnight. And then kind of like you can see over there, it looks like that might be some storage facility. They got basketball courts over there. And if I could pan over to the right, which I'm not going to just yet because there's people there, they actually have a football field. And then also you see how that train is coming in the background. Right over there, they also have some horseshoe stalls, I guess you would call it, where you toss the horseshoes. So anyways, you know what time it is, guys. So without further ado, Blue Star Pirates, baby. You know what it is. All right, so with that, let's just jump right into it. In that last video, you saw exactly what I was able to get from the community service when I did when I collected basically the litter in the parks, and I were to find a few pieces of recycle here and there. Sometimes actually there was a huge amount of recycle, but for the week of doing YouTube, this is exactly how much I've made. It's not a whole lot. This is everything. This is from the recycle. This is from the please buy me coffee, and also the Cash App. It's $13.76. So all that is going to go towards my pirate bride and I, my lovely Filipina, Ruby. A shout out to you. You're really someone special to me. And so there's that. I just obviously, I'm not getting rich on day one. I'm sure everyone sees the stuff on YouTube where people have thousands of views, but I guess my content isn't that cool to where people are going to I'm not flashing it, I guess you could say. Let me kind of put this away real quick. I actually saved the first nickel that was going to go towards me and Ruby, and I just kind of, sometimes I think that's funny. I had found a nickel on one of the park benches, and I included all that in my numbers. That's all going to go towards she and I. I didn't really kind of display it there. It was just the actual overall amount. So guys, today, let's talk about it, let's talk about Filipina love. Of course, you'll always see this type of content, but like the old no money, ... what? Is it no money, no honey? Or is it no money, no problem? And, I have to say that in my case, it's no money, no problem. I have 5 points that I would like to go over with you guys today. To put yourself in a situation where it's no money, no problem. Guys, it's not that I don't live out here or anything, and it takes money to live, but I don't really have any extra money for a Filipino bride. I'm certainly not rich. I'm basically, paycheck to paycheck, like many of you might be. But that doesn't mean that you can't find the love of your life, and that love is enough. I think that love is enough to kind of get started, but kind of going back to what I had said, it takes money to live in this world. So you don't have to be rich. And as I kind of resettle into a different, maybe a quieter, this is the football field that I was telling you guys about, that I didn't want to pan or move the camera over there by those other people, just because I really respect people's privacy, and I don't want to be on camera particularly, and I can't really imagine that others do either, although there are some. But yeah, this is the football field, and this is actually part of the park too, and this is so cool. A football field as a park. They really did the veterans right on this one. As you might remember in my when I was at the last veterans park, I gave a big shout out for them and their service and what they do for us. But let's go over these 5 points now that I've settled over here. The first thing, guys, is you got to keep your frame as a man. Let me just put some things out there. If a man isn't useful, he's despised. So kind of keep that in mind, like no money, no honey. That doesn't really apply. But if you got a woman that really truly cares, but you do have to keep your frame as a man and be useful, and you got to be on your grind. So like even in my case, like as soon as I knew that Ruby was the one for me, guys, I had to pick up this camera and start doing YouTube. I had to try to create a new income source for me and the future missus. So, there's that. And then, basically no fear. I'm going to pick up, recycle and collect that. If I have to go through garbage cans to put something together, in the meantime, I'm going to do that. I set up the Buy Me a Coffee and the Cash App, so that there's potential, basically hooks in the water if I were to be fishing. There's ways for people to support me and my future family. So there's that. And then another thing, in keeping your frame as a man is that you can't forget the scripture that says, by the sweat of thy brow, so shall ye eat. So, you know, guys, if you remember Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, in the beginning, like there was just there was abundance in the garden, and they didn't really have to do anything. They could just go pick fruit and eat, you know, leisurely as they were. But after they basically had chosen to separate themselves from God, then God basically said that, you know, by the sweat of thy brow, so shall ye eat. So tying that back into, you know, not losing your frame as a man, guys, don't be afraid to work until the day you die. I mean, yes, there is, you know, there is retirement, but it still doesn't mean that you can't continue to work what you can, whether it's a little bit here, a little bit there, but don't stop being productive, you know. So that's something that I'm really hoping, you know, for me in my case. You know, I want to basically work all the way up until the day I die. You know, maybe I'm not hard, like I'm not looking to kill myself, you know, but a woman and children, I mean, that's some serious motivation, guys. So, all right, so the next point on how to, you know, do the no money, no problem situation. And that is, guys, you got to treat her to you. You got to give her your sexy occasionally. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, you know, maybe 1 to 2 times a week. 1 to 2 times a month for her. So you might consider that something like date night or something like that. Okay? Once or twice a month. So every 2 weeks or so. Take her on the date. And then once a week, don't forget about church, guys. She wants to brag on you. She wants to feel that she wants to be proud of you in front of others. So overall, I have treat her to you 3 to 6 times a month. And what I mean by treat her to you is, you know, on those 3 to 6 occasions during the month, make sure you dress nice. Make sure you smell good. You know, be clean shaven or wear a proper beard. You know what I'm talking about, fellas. Clean it up and look sharp. You know, especially on that neckline. You know what I'm talking about. You know, I rock a beard myself. But it looks like when people don't shave on the neck, it looks like they didn't ever really learn how to rock a beard. So clean shaven or a clean looking beard. And it could be long. I mean, I'm not saying it's got to be short, but make it look sharp. And then the other thing is to smile and be a gentleman. And I'm talking on those 6 dates. Guys, you know, being a pirate, I love being in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't mind the grit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you're doing for her. And that's going to be one of your ways that you can do no money, no problem. All right? Because you're still bringing something to the table. All right? And then number 3, I have start. If you're basically you know, got no money, start doing something. You know, and this should be a good example for you. This isn't really a lot. You know, after 10 days, $13.76. That's peanuts. All right, that's not going to support a family. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in a high interest savings account, And that's going to go towards an emergency fund. So again, what I'm doing right there is I'm planning for her safety. You know, in case something were to happen, you know, I want to have 3 months of an emergency fund available for her and our family. You know, I can live on ramen, but, you know, women, they need a little more than us guys, you know? So, when I say start, it's best if you can start your work that God has called for you, but if not, start something. All right? And you can add to it later. Start something and you can add to it later. A woman is meant to be your helpmate. You know, but she can't help if you're not doing anything. You know, and I have to even say this, like, my woman, she's helped me. Even where I'm at already, even being so far away, she's added to what I have put out there for her. And that's just basically like, you know, we're building our relationship as we go. You know, we're building love. So, you know, consider that. And so, you know, my next point, if you're going to do no money, no problem, is be available. All right. So there's a reason I put start something, start your work, whether it's the work that God has set out for you or just start something. But be available. Right. So it's really important for us guys to find our own tribe. You know, there are men that are listening to this who are prodigals. And guys, I am specifically, in my heart, I have always wanted to, I've been planning the YouTube for you guys. Because God put it in my heart that He wants me to help bring people back to Christ. Bring people to Christ and bring people back to Christ. So you guys are the main people that I'm trying to reach in my video. Now, if you're, you know, somewhere on your journey back, that works too. If you're a woman who this resonates with because you have men in your life, you know, I'm happy to have all you guys as part of, you know, my crew. But specifically, like, my work is to try to help lift up men. And one of the things I'm doing on my channel is I'm doing something counterintuitive to what the world would tell you. The world would tell you, you know, try to date as many girls as you can, and, you know, third date, 3-day rule, all that garbage, guys. You know what? That's just not God's plan for us. And, you know, you could even say that my relationship is a long shot, and I just hope that we can prove it to you, Ruby and I. You know, so be available. Specifically, it means let her know she is a priority in your life. Now, this doesn't mean worship her. All right, guys. So, you know, if you're gonna follow God's path for you, you can't put anything ahead of God. Not your woman, not your marriage. Nothing comes before God. So you're really ideally looking to choose a woman who also chooses God, so that you guys can be on the same page on everything. All right. And then convey to your woman the idea of wolf wolf. You know, I'm not sure if people even do the nursery rhymes and things, Aesop's fables from growing up, but many of you know the story of Wolf Wolf. You got to make sure that your woman, you're available to her and that she's, you know, your priority, but it's not like you worship her or drop exactly what you're doing unless it's an emergency. So she's important to you and becomes your greatest asset. And but she has some perspective. So don't forget that you're the leader. All right, but make yourself available. And then the last the fifth point for no money, no problem is pay her. Guys, pay her with respect. Keep in mind how she loves you and honor that. Let me break it down a little bit. In almost every relationship, that I've had, what a woman offers a man is herself. Guys, women, they don't, in terms of, they're not looking to support you financially or to be the breadwinner. Even if that's an option based on equality, they're not. That's just generally not the rule of a woman. She's your helpmate. If you were to be disabled or something, yes, I would expect her to, help you across the river. But she is your. She's basically. She's your greatest asset, but you have to care for her. So, she offers herself. Women are more selfless than us. Just remember that, she wants to give you children. She wants to give you status. She wants to take care of your lust. That's the awesome thing about women. And they want to take care of your lust. And in marriage, that is appropriate. God says, under the covenant of marriage, that's for you to enjoy. Can't forget one of God's first commandments was to multiply and replenish the earth. So you know what that involves. And a woman is the one that's going to do that for you. So you got to honor her for that. I mean, it's a great responsibility. And it's really in some, some ways we just don't give them enough respect for being moms. You got to honor her for that. And then, when you do pay her respect, and I say that because, it's a no money situation. You're paying her in respect. Guys, she appreciates you, which I specifically said it that way. You're grateful, but your woman appreciates you. She increases your value. So, that's the 5 points I wanted to share. If you're doing no money, no problem, consider that. If you're starting from scratch or you're already tied up in everything, one at a time, get ready and start creating new income streams and pay her with respect and pay her attention and all those things I just mentioned. Treat her to you, to the man and masculinity that you embody. And if you do that, you're not going to have any problem with money, and money will come. And when you're following God, money comes. Even right here, I know this is humble, 1376, but she knows that I'm working for us, and I have her in my heart, and there's really nothing that can stop us except sin. So with that, gentlemen, I want you to know that I am grateful for each and every one of you. Have a good day, and God bless.